Good evening. It's me again because I made a video earlier, but it seems there were some things that were, really just clawing at my mind and I couldn't remember because they were so, I guess, they had so much energy in them. They overwhelmed my other thought. So my other train of thought even got jumbled a little. So I called it Ramblings of an Old Atheist, kind of thing, right? So that y'all can get an idea of what I was doing. It was really just ramblings. However, they're intelligent ramblings. So listen up, America and the rest of the world, because I don't want you all to think we're a fucking Christian nation. Uh, a lot of us would rather just be an atheist nation. Not that atheism is an evil thing, like everybody wants to portray it. Like the way they say that China is an atheist nation, as if there's something wrong with that. And that they actually actively kick out religion. They kick them out. They don't want them building churches. They don't want them fucking getting worshipers and lying to them and putting together the big fraud that we already have here. Because it is religion, all that shit, every one of them. It doesn't matter which one it is, from fucking Muslims and Islam to Christianity and fucking Christ and the Pope of all things. The Pope, that's a good one. The Pope was just another way for the Roman Empire to stay afloat. It really was. And the Borgias, y'all know who they are, right? You've heard of them. The Borgias? Really? You haven't? Well, they are just probably the original uh, godfathers. Yeah, they were the original oligarch, and so on and so forth. But theirs was like gold and silver and the ability to put together stones. The stone masons, the Freemasons. Although they use that as a fucking tool, and that's kind of fucked up because I'm a Freemason by birth. Anyway, let me go on. This whole idea that these fucking religions are anything but tools, or anything but something, a framework to build a fucking a criminal empire to keep the Roman Empire, their leaders and their fucking lords and ladies and their godfathers and their motherfuckers and popes to keep them all in power. That's all it is. That's the whole fucking idea behind the Christ fucking mob fraud. It is. It's a mob fraud. It's a fraud that's just as insidious as the rest of them. Judaism, another fucking fraud to keep the fucking money people in power. No, that's not a fucking, god damn, that's not a white supremacist thing. Jews are white, remember? It's just a pigmentation. And Caucasian just means you come from the Caucasus, a mountain range, the Caucasus mountain range in Eastern Europe, between Europe and Russia. Never mind. All of that is just ancient history. And y'all just want to assign and label all kinds of shit to it, put all kinds of words and ideas on things just to get and keep certain people in control. The popes, for instance, and the St. Peter and St. Paul thing, was I find out here recently and pretty much developed and manufactured by this a family of Borgias called the Pizos, who had developed themselves from through the Borgias to a family named Piso to keep them into power, so that Piso Paul would become the first pope. Would be you've got your first Innocent the first. You've got your Pope. Who nobody really knows who the first popes were. Actually, that's the thing. All they do is know is to realize that all they do know is to think about Peter coming up around from the Middle East, all up and through to the Italian boot for some reason, and finding himself there in Italy because of the Roman Empire. That's how. That was actually a rhetorical question. So don't get a grip. The Roman Empire saw that oh my god, they're falling apart. They did not let their infrastructure move with them. They didn't allow for courthouses and like type things. So, for the the Roman governors and so forth to have real power. They had it to a point like Roman governor uh, the whole thing about the story about Herod and all that is true. That kind of thing, because that's how the Romans worked. They had a governor, and they would choose a local dignitary to be their representative and turn into their governor. So you got Herod and the other guy. I can't remember. It's fucking Bible shit. Who cares, right? That's the whole point. They're not supposed to give a fuck because it's all a fraud anyway. They made this shit up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the whole big explanation. We don't need that. Be an atheist, we already get that, a lot of us, right? Most of us do, don't we? I'm moving the camera around for the fun of it. You guys shut up. I'm trying to figure things out. This is new to me for a minute. This is a new laptop, so it's a new setup. Anyway, let me go on. So the whole idea was all just a big fucking fraud anyway. Even the fucking Bhagwan Shrivadevs, who've been around for 4,000 years, or the fucking uh, the Pharaonics and the Gnostics and all that shit, they've been around for a long time. Who gives a fuck? That doesn't mean anything. All they're doing is saying that we've been since we've been calling the animals these names for 3,000 years, and this is what they do and mean, and that's the way it is. Like but if you look at the fucking hieroglyphs on the Egyptian walls, you can see. Now you're gonna hear from me that a lot of atheists, for some reason, seem to think that I have to be a skeptic. I have to believe. I don't believe in gods and magic, so I can't believe in any other beings. That's not necessarily true. For one thing, we've been here for a long time, thousands, millions of years, as human beings. Just the fact that we are here amongst the millions of examples of life itself, I guarantee you, we are not alone. A lot of people have been, you don't have to, you know, just because you're an atheist and you don't believe in gods and magic doesn't have anything to do with real corporeal extraterrestrials. Doesn't have anything to do with that. In fact, the reason I think a lot of the ancient religions were started in the belief in gods, things your gods did this and God is like for the Indians, for example. No, not Native Americans. I'm talking about Indians from India. You fucking jack idiots. You fucking fools. Shut up. Indians and their ancient way of the Bhagavad Gita and so forth, the way it talks about the different gods fighting with missiles of fire, with fire sticks and all this other shit, and great energy bombs that shook the earth and everything, and that kind of stuff. You saw they had ships that flew around, and flying ships, yeah, ships that flew around and landed in certain areas on certain landing strips or landing ports or something. They write all that shit. They wrote it, and then there's the Sumerians who did the same thing. They wrote things literally. They told you exactly what they saw and why they saw it and what they called them. There was Ananuki. There was those who from the stars came. Many people want to think that's anything but exactly what they say it is. That's how it was explained to them. How can you not just? Me, I assume it because I think it's crazy, batshit crazy to think we're the only life, corporeal life, in this whole fucking universe. We're the only ones. I can't see it. It's not logical and it's not true. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. You know, when you do special duty, you see shit you don't. You know, you fucking just even though you can sign something like the Official Secrets Act, OCA, the USA, people they if you come out clean, they don't want to believe you. Well, that's not evidence. Well, yeah, it is. It's better than having some crazy fucking book that reads like science fiction and think the main character is real when you know all along it's magic because he fucking supposedly created everything in 6 days. That's fucking magic, no matter what how you say it. So that's just goofy shit to explain stuff because you can't understand. You don't get science. Can't understand math, all that. You don't get it. So you gotta explain everything away now, quick. Like it's got to be done now. So it's magic, right? That's so stupid. So anyway, there are a lot of other things I could be talking about. And after seeing 60 Minutes tonight, yeah, what a bunch of thoughtful motherfuckers. They have a story about Make a Wish and how it developed or whatever. Then they have a story about these two nurses that go around and give their time, like 50 hours a week, nurse practitioners to run around West Virginia or Western Virginia of Virginia to give free medical advice and practice to all these people that have no insurance and shit. And most of them are white because they worked and all their families worked in this fucking coal mines and shit. They don't have anything. They have shit. Insurance, the OCA, yeah, that's good job, Obama. And I'm a fucking socialist. And I'm a Democrat, basically. And yet, fucked up, man. This is crazy. How did the insurance companies get all the power? How did they do that? How did that happen? How could you allow that shit, man? I don't get it. They've got all of a sudden, boom, insurance was 600, 700 bucks a month. Excuse me? Why? For what? What if nothing ever happens to you medically or your whole family? It can happen. Happens all the time. What if nothing ever happens? So you spend all that money for what? Bullshit. For bullshit. People should get a refund of some kind. That's a fact. That's what ought to happen. And until you can, make sure everybody gets a living wage, Mr. President, fuck your OCA. These people can't afford it. What do you do for them? What happens? You're going to throw them in jail because they don't have insurance? They don't have a job. You can take their revenue money from them, their IRS money from them. They don't have a job. It's fucked up, man. You don't even think about that kind of shit, do you? All you want to think about is make sure the fat cats get their fucking profit. Every time these companies bitch about a shit, they bitch about their profit being cut into. Not that actually they're gonna, people gonna lose their work, their jobs because that's a fact. Because they can't say that. They're the ones who give them the job. All they have to do is just say, "We'll make sure everybody holds their job. I'll cut my profits a bit." Because your profits are huge, dude. Come on, Gates. Come on. You guys are just, you're so rich. Just do it, okay? You don't have to pay attention, but be nice. 60 Minutes, fuck you. Just stop, you know? You don't have to tell people how rich people are. We don't want to hear that shit from you. Man, aren't you supposed to be an investigative journalist? See you later. That's my time. This is Mr. The Earthling, I guess. The Reynolds, Gerald R. Reynolds. I'm taking off because I'm really stoned now, and this has been wonderful. The ramblings of an old man again. Right.